Okay, I know I look a mess. I wasn't going to vlog today, but I'm over here at Materville. As you can see, I brought another big old carload full of cardboard. This time it's from Dollar General instead of Dollar Tree. But I wanted to show you what I was doing because I thought maybe it was important to note. All right, so I have cleaned up all of the tomato plants. All that stuff is out of here. But what I'm doing right now is I'm brushing off the wood chips. So you can see here is the row where the tomato plants get planted. And I mulched with a big thick layer of wood chips last year after I planted the tomatoes. Now I'm happy to say, so I'm just taking my hand, it's nice and dirty. And it's just a very thin layer of what's left of like the bigger chips. And I'm brushing them off to the side like that. And then I'm gonna come in with barrelfuls of the mushroom compost and just cover this. Cover both these big rows with the mushroom compost. And then I'm just gonna let that mushroom compost work its way down into the soil. The worms will come up and get all of it and prepare my beds for me for the next couple of months. Oh, I did it. So I stayed here. I think it's been a half hour longer than I wanted to. It's about 3 hours later, and I have completely mulched with mushroom compost both rows all the way across. Whew. So I was rushing there at the end. I was halfway done and I wanted to quit, and then I thought, okay, put on some good music. So I turned off the Fray and I turned on Dayseeker and I went to town. And I was just like, you're gonna get it done. You wanted to get it done, Jen. So, yay, I did it. The next step, I think what I want to do is I want to mulch with, I got a giant pile of wood. Where's my finger? Okay, I can't find it. But you see the giant pile of wood chips there. I'm supposed to be getting a couple more loads within the next couple days. I hope that they look different, because different trees that they chop up, I've gotten like pine trees. I think I got some sort of like cherry tree because it smelled like maraschino cherries last year when I was moving it. But I'm hoping it looks different. So like when I mulch the rows and then I mulch the path, it'll have like a different look to it. You know what I mean? So I can distinguish the rows. It's just in my mind, I want it to look different. Nice hands, huh? Oh, they smell like a garden. Smell like yummy tomatoes. But that's what all that cardboard is for down at the end, is to mulch again in here, remulch the walkways. I did mostly everything. I started to do the piles because I wanted to have a pile on each one of the T-posts, because I was successful at like growing a tomato up a T-post last year, so I thought I'd do that. I also still want to go around the front here. Last year I put down like a tiny bit of dirt and on top of a big thick layer of cardboard, so nothing really took off. There was like one basil plant that took right here. That was it. But so I still need to do that. I'm gonna try to get back here tomorrow to do the mulch, the wood chip mulch on these beds, because I'd like to protect them. We're supposed to get snow on Saturday. It's Thursday now. I don't know if I'll get back here tomorrow. I mean, that's the plan. I'll try. But if I don't, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But I actually do want to start on Sunday putting down cardboard and working on the beds for Pepperville. And that's going to be on the other end of this. So I'm going to end up cutting like a door that I can just go from Tomatoeville to, or Materville to Pepperville. All right, so let's get out of here. I'll see you guys in a bit. So I just got home and this was in the mail. North Spore. Take a guess what this is. So my shiitakes are doing so well, I ended up getting back on that website and I got some lion's mane, some blue oyster, and some, what is this? Golden oyster. So these are 3 items that they say are easy to grow for like beginners. So I've got a project that I'm going to show you how I'm going to grow these. because it's going to be different than logs and it's going to be different than wood chips. So I'm going to go and put these in the fridge until I'm ready to do that project, because it might be a week or so. What in the heck is this bull malarkey? I was supposed to take those to the greenhouse, and now they're buried in snow. Oh man, how am I supposed to get anything done? It's really pretty though. So pretty. Well, guys, today was the day that I had thought I was going to go over and work more on Materville, but as you can see, I think I showed a clip of it. To my surprise, everything's covered in snow. I mean, it is mid-February. I should be paying more attention to the weather, but I'm just so gung-ho. I'm like, I'm over this. This needs to go away so I can plant things. But let me show you what I decided to do today. I decided to make a mess in my kitchen again. So I think I had showed in a clip how some of my crack key that were in these jars. So I'm just gonna use these jars for like seed fermentation this summer, because I just feel like there's no way for there to be aeration. So I'm gonna feed a couple of my house plants with the water that's in there, but like, look at them. They are just looking so sad. So I have up-potted these. I put these 2 in 1 gallon, and then I've got a couple in 2 gallons. And I'm also gonna do those over there. Now they're looking a little bit better being in these plastic jugs. But I kid you not, I started these. These are some of the ones I started. When did I start these? I don't know, but they should be like fruiting. They should be doing something at this point, and they just, that's a micro. Like they're obviously not getting enough light in this, but they're still alive. So I'm just gonna up pot them into some soil and see if maybe they'll start fruiting, do a little bit better. This was my first attempt, and I wanted to see what I could possibly grow these in, and I just don't think this is for me. I do like the Hope Gardens, but I like those a lot for seed starting. So that's what I'm working on, is just getting all these up potted. And then I also, so the ones that are looking really rough, those 2 there, that one's Boca and then Candyberry. I took a couple of, if you look, well, I don't really have a great example, but right in the armpit, let me see here if I can get you in close, there are suckers. So there was a couple lower down at the bottom, because I pulled a bunch of these nasty leaves from the bottom, and there was a couple of bigger suckers. Let me show you what they look like. And so I was gonna see if I could propagate a Candyberry and a Boca. So I've got them up here on the table. So there's the Boca that I pulled off. So this is just a sucker from the armpit. And then this one here is the Candyberry sucker from that armpit. So I've got them in one of these with water in the bottom, because I really don't want the soil to dry out at all while the roots are trying to form on these suckers. So there's that. And then I didn't finish planting this a Hope Garden. I started some seeds in it, just a few last week, of some micro dwarfs, Dynamite Delight, and Tiny Totem again, because that one was a good one. But I'm going to start my Tutti Frutti series that Lauren gifted me for Christmas. All the Tutti Fruttis. So these are F1 hybrids. So I had someone ask me if I was going to grow any hybrids this year. I grew a few last year, and I've grown some. I'm not against hybrids. Let me say that. I'm not against any tomato. So these are probably the only hybrids I'm going to grow. Reason being, I don't like to grow hybrids or I shouldn't say I don't like to grow hybrids. I like to grow any tomato. But the reason why I don't grow that many of them Not that they don't do well, not that they don't taste good. Some of them do taste good. Some of them do really well where I live. It's because technically I can't save seeds and then be true to seed unless I grow them out like you would. I mean, all tomatoes, new varieties that are bred, end up being hybrids the first year, and then you have to stabilize them. So think of it that way. I would have to go through a whole process of trying to stabilize that F1 hybrid, if at all possible. And it's just, it takes years. It takes years to stabilize a hybrid. So that's the reason why it's just so much easier to grow one that's already stabilized, an heirloom or a open pollinated. You can save seeds the first year you grow them, and the next year you should have plants that are true to seed. So that's why. But I'm excited about these Tutti Fruttis. Why, you ask? Because they're supposed to have a Brix scale. And I will put the definition of what the Brix scale for tomato, what that means, of 13. Yeah, you heard me right. 13. So the most I've ever seen was, I think, Sweet Aperitif. And it said that it had a Brix of 9.5, something like that. I've never seen a Brix over 10. So yeah. So I'm gonna probably start three seeds each of what I've got here in the Hope garden. And of course I'll be up potting those into 2-gallon grow pots probably. I think that's what Lauren has hers in, because she's got a couple growing in her basement right now. Or she showed me and Keena a plant when we were at our meeting a couple days ago, and it looked gorgeous. And it was fairly large. I think it was 1.5, 2 feet, and all over the place. It looked really good. So I'm excited. I'm going to start these. And I'm also starting some more lettuce. I got some more of the litter boxes. So my lettuce down in the basement is doing incredible. And I'm excited to grow. I want to have more in rotation. I'm going to chop all that down. And then while it grows back, I'll have another one and another one. So I'm going to have lettuce growing in my basement all summer long. And then I have some other containers that I'm going to winter sow in that I've collected this past week or 2 weeks. I think it's been a couple weeks. There's my jugs, all buried in snow. So yay, I don't have to water them. You know how I don't like to water stuff. And then I'm also filling up a couple more of these type trays, and one of those with the 3x2 pots, or what is it, 3.5-inch pots, something like that. 2.5-inch pots. I'm going to fill one of those, and then I'm going to start a bunch of my sweet peppers. So I've made a goal, I guess you could say. Ooh, I'm wobbly, sorry. I've made a goal for myself that starting last week, so last week I started my hot peppers, my super hots and hots. So every week now I have to start a tray of something, or start seeds, something somewhere, up until, and up until it's time to plant everything in the garden. So that is my goal for myself, is to just keep starting things. And hopefully I'll have a whole bunch of stuff ready to go in the garden. But this week it's going to be, I think I'm going to do half of the sweet peppers I'm starting, because I am starting a whole bunch of different varieties. Whole bunch, because I want to taste test all the things. I hope I get my order from Tomatoeden. I made another order, and I think I got 5 or 6 more of the varieties of sweet peppers that she had on there. Oh my gosh, Tomatoeden. Oh, she has so much good stuff on there. I avoid getting on that website because I always end up buying 50 things. But I digress. So that's my plan. Start seeds every single week. Something's going in the dirt. So I just told you all the stuff I'm going to start today. Okay, so I am sitting here working on the lettuces, and I wanted to show you what my plan is to do with these. So right back here I have just M.I. Gardner's salad bowl mix. And then what I thought I'd do, because I have some really special lettuces, This one here, Ruby Red Leaf and Flashy Butter Gem. So I'd really like to have a lot more seeds of these because you don't get that many in these packages. So what my plan is I made a couple of rows here. So this is Ruby Red Leaf, and I'm kind of like covering up this side. So when I do this one here, the Flashy Butter Gem, there's no like rogue seeds. Does that make sense? So I'm like trying to cover up. This is the swath of the ruby, and then I'm gonna remove this, and then I'll put a bigger swath of the what I have, lettuce Flashy Butter Gem. And so my thought process is, come summertime, so you can grow in like these, you can grow in these containers what's called cut and come again. So you just cut off the tops and then the lettuce will regrow. So I plan on continuing to do that so I can eat the lettuce, harvest the lettuce and eat it. And then come summer, when it gets hot and these would go to seed if they were planted outside, what I will do is I will come in and I'll take little chunks and try to replant the seedlings or the root part of it outside, so that maybe not in the summer. I'll probably do it sometime late spring, early summer, so that the plant can become established, and then when it gets hot enough, above 85 degrees, that they'll go to seed. And then I can save seeds and have more seeds for these special varieties of lettuce that I want to have more seeds of. So that's my thought process. I'll get to enjoy it now inside, and then as long as I have it growing inside, I can take from these containers and replant seedlings outside when it comes time to want them to go to seed. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, but that's my plan. So while I picked up a grocery order, I went to the bakery department and asked if they had any 5-gallon buckets, and they did, and some smaller ones too. So they just give these away for free at the end of the day if you just ask. Okay, I am once again, I was going to finish this yesterday but didn't get to, but the micros that I had sitting right here in front of this door, I am up potting those into, so these, I believe I said these were 2-gallon, these are 3-gallon. These are 2-gallon, and then I also have 1-gallon. So I thought these were 2, those are 3. And then that one's a 2, and they also have 1-gallon ones. And micros can grow, like the smaller micros can grow in 1-gallon grow bags, but I'm gonna put them in 2 anyways. But I just wanted to show you this one here. So I, you know, they're in the baskets, and I wiggled out as many roots as I possibly could with this one, but I want to show you this one. This is, I don't know if you can read that, Balconet, yeah, you can. Balconet Cluedo. And there it is, and I'm gonna bury sponge and all, because that'll break down. But there's all the roots. Oops, it's got, I took off some of the dead leaves on it, and this is what's left of it. It looks so sad, and it's been in this window for, oh gosh, I don't know how long ago I planted these, a long time, and this is what it's doing. So I'm potting these. I just don't think hydroponically they're doing really well in these jugs, so I'm going to put this in some soil, and I will show you how it's close to death. It's still alive, still green, you see that? And then there's a sucker right there too. I'm gonna leave that sucker because it just looks so sad right now. But we're gonna put it in one of these 2-gallon grow pots here, and I'll show you how I do this. So I'm just putting the tiniest little bit of soil just to cover the bottom, right? And then I'm gonna stick this thing all the way down in there, and I'm gonna bury it all the way up to here. I will say this. I said that how I took the little basket, I took the thing out, I tried to get the roots out of the basket. There were a couple that they had so many roots, and the roots were so tangled that I just buried the plant with the plastic basket. I mean, I didn't know what else to do. I didn't want to like destroy the plant, so I mean, I figured the roots are growing through the plastic right now, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So hopefully me burying this stem will revive this plant. I even had one, which one was it? This one right here that I buried really, really deep. This is not Red Beauty. I reused my pixie striped. The stem of it, as I was trying to like get it out of the basket, like cracked almost in half. So I just want to show you that even when your tomato plants, like, you think, oh, they're a goner, I'm gonna revive this. I'll show you. It was like cracked in half. Like, it was holding on by just like a sliver of the skin, and I was just like, this will be a good example to show. But I've already buried it, but the cracked part is like halfway down and buried. And just keep watching the vlogs and you will see just how resilient tomato plants are. I got a couple more I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna get to planting starting some seeds of sweet peppers. And because these jugs are filled with water and like some of the nutrients, I'm guessing, that I've put into the water are still in here. So I'm just holding on to these. I've already watered my houseplants for this week, so I'm gonna just hold on to the water. And this is what I will water my houseplants with for the next few weeks.